Chapter 7. About 3 months passed, and Mother was still wearing her cast, and all was calm. Have you seen your mother? Yes, ma'am. She went into the basement. I think she is washing some clothes. I hadn't really noticed how long she had been down there. I just remembered seeing her go through the door. Granny went in the basement and found her unconscious on the floor. Terry, call the police. We need an ambulance. Something is wrong with your mom. I rushed to the phone and dialed the police. Hello, my name is Terry, and I live at 3048 Klein Street. Something is wrong with my mom, and we need an ambulance. Right away, ma'am. They knew this address. They had been here many times before. The ambulance came quick. They informed my grandmother that Mother would be all right. Mother had decided to go into the basement where she took a whole bottle of sleeping pills. Again, there was another episode at our house. Ambulance, police, and the whole 9 yards. Again, another scene. What was I to do now? I thought that stuff was over. Didn't she learn anything from all those other times? Was she doing this on purpose? My mind was racing, as I'm sure hers was too, after hearing voices telling her to. End it. Finish what you started. You're really worthless now. Audible voices that instructed her to get the pills and finish the job. Voices that were too strong for her to resist. But as a child, you have no sense of things like people hearing voices. You never understand voices. What voices? I didn't hear them. What was she talking about all the time? Those voices. Was she making things up? Somebody tell me, please. Help me to understand. But there was no one. All you know and think is that something has to be done, but what? By whom? My granny didn't understand. How was she to tell me? My aunts and uncles were afraid of my mom. They wouldn't dare come near. My stepdad was out of the picture. I think he sort of knew what was happening since he had a nervous breakdown too. All I wanted to know was who had the answer? Who were the voices? Would they ever stop talking? Somebody please help me. It was ringing in my spirit and in my heart. Mother came home after 3 days in the hospital and resumed living with her cast. I'm not sure how long she was supposed to keep the cast on, because 2 or 3 days after she had returned home, she went into the basement again. This time she climbed into the wash tub, lay in there, and soaked her cast until it was soft enough to cut off. Again, Granny found her downstairs and had to call the ambulance to take her to the hospital. This time she stayed for about a week. Again, I was left to tend the house and explain things to my brothers. This time, I told the whole truth, and my brother and I cried together. Sit down, Boo. I have something to tell you. Our mother is mentally ill, and that means crazy. She has tried a few times to kill herself. She says that she hears voices in her head, and I don't know if she will ever get better. Is that why she keeps going to the hospital? He asked. Yes. He started crying. I started crying. And there we were, crying with the little one looking puzzled. He was much too young to understand. My brother and I cried for a while, and he was never the same little boy again. I don't know what happened to him, but he was totally different. His behavior at school changed. He was in trouble a lot. He started being put in Boys Town, and he just has not been the same. I often wondered if I should have told him, or should I have waited another year. I just couldn't keep it any longer. I had to get it out of my system before I too start hearing voices.